You think you've decided on the BMW iX1 for your first or maybe your next EV. What's good, what's not, and what should you know? And also what deals are available right now. Watch for the cracking lease bargain we've discovered for you. I'm Dave, this is Dave Takes It On. The BMW iX1 is a premium SUV with prices starting from £43,205 as of the 6th of March 2025. Although the model we filmed was the iX1 eDrive 20M Sport that had many extras including the technology pack and an attractive metallic Phytonic blue paint at a very reasonable extra price of £595. And that took the price of the one we filmed up to £51,079. There's more on these packages later. I found it to be an attractive SUV, typical BMW styling, and a lot larger on the outside than expected, certainly taller. At 4,500mm long, 1845 wide by 1616 high, it is about the same size all round as something like a Hyundai Ioniq 5 or an MG5 or a Skoda Elroq. A tech deep dive with full dimensions and other tech spec is included later, so for now, let's have a look round the exterior. Well, the doors are large and deep with plenty of glass and they open wide, giving easy access. The rear hatch is semi-automatic with opening operated from a switch inside the car but closed manually with assist. The boot is absolutely huge, 490 litres. In fact, could be too huge. I'll explain why I think that a bit later. But it has handy cable storage underneath and useful pockets either side. Inside, the driver's seat is comfy and spacious, and that's saying something because I am 6'3" tall, definitely not slim by any means, and I actually have size 14 shoes, well, feet as well. I got in easily and I found it to be very comfortable. The materials are all quality, the inside is leather, that's an optional extra, although that seems to be a bit out of fashion these days, so other options are also available. Well, back to those packages. Now you need to choose these carefully as not everything is included. I was surprised to find the front seat adjustment on this model was manual, but obviously electrically operated was an optional extra for another £755. But if you want the heads-up display, you must not order the technology pack that was fitted to this one, but instead order the technology plus pack upgrade, and that was £3,440. Now you really need to go through the options and make sure you include all of the options that you want. In some cases, choosing one actually removes another. So here the sales staff are invaluable, so make use of them. They do know their way around these cars and the options, so talk to them, make use of them. Well, despite the manual seat controls, I did get a position that I found comfortable. And don't forget, if you're the main driver in the car, you're not playing with these all the time. I found I could happily drive this car for long distances, and I can't say that for many cars with my height. All the controls were very handy, display is large, bright and comprehensive, screen is quite intuitive, very responsive. It should not take very long to get used to it. They did show Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, plus loads of other goodies. It's certainly very modern. Well, for such a good size SUV, plenty of room in the front, I was in for a shock when I went round to the back to see how much room my imaginary teenage kids would have if I was the main driver and my seat was set for me. And the fact was that if I was the main driver, they wouldn't fit in at all. Now, I have to be careful here. I am very tall and I do have longer legs than normal, so for a normal sized driver this would not be an issue at all, but for me this would actually be a deal breaker. So a bigger word of warning here: if this is your EV choice and you are tall and you have EV kids, serious bit of advice: take them with you when you go and look at it. Now, if your kids are 3 and 5 years old, your normal size, then the ISOFIX in the back is much more appropriate and legroom will not be an issue at all. And if you change your car every 3, 4 or 5 years, probably never will be. It's horses for courses. See, here I would much prefer if the back seats had been moved further back just a few inches, giving the rear passengers a few more inches of legroom taken from the massive boot. That would have made much more sense to me. Anyway, moving on. Tech spec at last. The usual battery size is 64.7 kilowatt hours. They always squirrel a bit away for emergencies, and I consider that about average for this size of vehicle. The official range is given using WLTP, but it's an immensely complicated formula. Loads of figures here, there and everywhere, most of which you're unlikely to get in the real world. So in that real world, you should get an efficiency of about 270 watt hours per mile, and that's going to give you an average range of about 240 miles year round. Drive carefully, you should see over 300 miles, particularly in the summer months. Again, a generally good figure for an SUV of this size. Charging rate is a maximum of 130 kilowatt hours, but you'll generally not get that on most occasions. It's normally going to be nearer 100 kilowatt hours, and that is below average these days. When you're charging, just make sure you choose any charger with a rated speed of 100 kilowatts or greater. And no, you can't do any damage at all to your car or battery if the only ones available are either 50 kilowatts or 500 kilowatts. The car will sort itself out. The iX1 has NMC battery chemistry, which features more powerful batteries, but they prefer not to be charged to 100% on a regular basis. Now, many buyers get fixated on LFP versus NMC, thanks to overhype from the media. But talking personally, I've driven an EV with NMC batteries for 5 years, got absolutely no qualms. Most EV drivers would not let the battery get down below 10% state of charge, and most of us only ever charge it up to 80% as the norm. That considerably reduces the time you spend at the charger anyway, and in this car you'll probably be there less than half an hour. If you charge it at home on a 7 kilowatt home charger overnight, you can easily get up to a full charge if you want to go that high during most off-peak periods on offer. That's typically 6 or 7 hours. All dimensions we've covered, and apart from the rear legroom comments, they're very good inside as well, inside and out. This is quite a large SUV. Performance, I have to say, is about average with its single motor and front wheel drive, which for a BMW is a little bit underwhelming. Quality is definitely there, prestige also. Price is a tricky one to answer. It is not a cheap car. Never expected it to be cheap. It is BMW. It is a premium car, and this is evident everywhere you look. The base model of 43,200 is competitive, but then much of what you might actually want is simply not there as standard, but only available as extras. Paint choice, for example, black or white standard, basic wheels, basic tech. It is unfair to compare a BMW to a Skoda or an MG5, as both are about £10,000 cheaper, but they do have much more as standard at that price. This is a BMW. When spec'd up properly with the bigger battery and more powerful twin motors and all-wheel drive, this would be much closer to what you would be expecting from such a premium performance car, but also it'd be very much closer to 53,000. Well, BMW aficionados will go for this just because it is a BMW, and they will be delighted with it. Others will buy this and love the quality and prestige, and they'll never look back. My own opinion is that while BMW still leads the field, the gap is closing inexorably, and there are now so many other cars, even other German EVs, that I think you should actually have a look at before handing over your hard-earned cash or signing on the dotted line. But the iX1 will sell 43,200 for the base model, or as we said, they're available on lease. Now, most of these leases, when you check up on places like Lease Loco or Select Car Leasing, they're going to be round about £500 a month on a 36 or 48-month lease. But we have actually seen a really special offer on Select Car Leasing for July delivery. And it's available at the time of making this video, mid-March. These offers do come and go, but right now there's an iX1 eDrive 20 Sport, same as this one, 65 kilowatt hour battery, 48-month lease with 8,000 miles a year, 9 months down, £3,302. Then £366.96 a month. That sounds really good to me. Well, if you're ready, don't hang about, because these deals won't either. I'm Dave.